Hey guys, it's Brianna and I'm back with another story time. I just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel because of my first story time. I appreciate you guys a lot. As you can tell from the number of subscribers that I have now, it wasn't like that before that story time. I guess people on YouTube love drama or just love story times. So I'm gonna try to do more of them. The only problem is my story times are 100% real. Not throwing shade to anybody else on YouTube. I'm just saying my stories are real. And I don't really have such a eventful life, being that I'm in school, I work, and I live at home with my parents. So I don't do anything wild, but I try to find some things that I feel is worth telling the story to you guys. So with that being said, I want to have story times more often on my channel, and I want to interact with my subscribers besides Instagram, where I can just see you guys' picture and you guys can like mine. I have Snapchat and I have Twitter. I did a poll on my Twitter where I said, for my next story time, which topic should I choose? And the topics were: the Canadian stole our car, and he had bitches in his hotel room. And I think only like one person voted, and it was for the one with the bitches in the hotel room. And I just feel like that story is worth a wait. So if you guys want to see that story time, I suggest you subscribe to my channel now, because I'm not gonna do it just yet, being that I don't really have that much crazy stories, so I'm gonna save the really juicy ones. So sorry for all that talking, but as you can tell by the title, this video is gonna be about the time when Canadians stole our car. So people are probably wondering, like, Canadians stole your car? Like, how do you know it was Canadians? How did they get to steal your car? I'm gonna tell the story, so if you guys want to see, then keep on watching. So this story happened when I was in 11th grade, so I want to say that was 4 years ago, and my family was visiting Canada. My grandmother, her sister's birthday was coming up, so we planned on going to Canada to her birthday party. I don't know why my parents didn't fly. I guess they thought it would be cheaper to drive, so we drove from our house in New York to Canada. Now, my mom had a Toyota Camry. I don't know what year it was. I'll probably insert a picture if I can find one, but she had a Toyota Camry, and that's the car that we drove to Canada. It was the 5 of us in all. It was my grandmother, my parents, my sister, and I, and we were just going for the weekend, and then I think my grandmother was staying for like a whole month after that with my grand aunt. I have family in Canada, and I have a sister in Toronto, and my grand aunt, she lives in Quebec. We weren't going to Toronto, we were going to Quebec. I'm from New York. I'm pretty sure any Canadian would agree with me that Quebec and Toronto are like two completely different parts of Canada, if you know what I mean. I'm just a visitor, so I'm probably wrong, but from my opinion, I feel like Toronto and Quebec is completely different. It's just different. So we were going to Quebec. I didn't really know what to expect going there. The drive was long. It was long as hell. When we eventually got to Canada, we went to this hotel. I'm not gonna say the name of the hotel just because I don't want to be sued by anybody, but it's a pretty popular hotel chain. We went there. It was very different being there. Most of the people were white. It was a lot of French people there. Like, they all spoke French, so it was different. Like, the signs were in French. Everything was just different. There was no one around me or my sister's age at the hotel. It was a lot of older white people. So me and my sister, we like stayed in the room most of the time. My parents, they stayed in the room. We went to the pool probably like once, and my grandmother was back at her sister's house. It was a little nice getaway, I guess. The hotel had a restaurant in it, and like I said, me and my sister was at the pool the whole time. So that was cool, I guess. While we were there, like, we would go and visit my grand aunt and then come back to the hotel to sleep. And then we would go visit my grand aunt like the next day and then come back to the hotel to sleep. So this was the last night that we were in Canada. We went to my grand aunt's house for her party. We were there like all night. We spent like basically the whole night there. It was like 1 o'clock or maybe 2 o'clock. We decided to leave. So we drove back to the hotel, and when we got to the hotel, there was a lot of like young people outside. Like, I don't know what was going on, but it was a lot of like young people outside. They were like sitting in the grass in the parking lot of the hotel. I don't know what was going on. I didn't care what was going on. I was tired, and it was my last night there, so I was going to that hotel room to sleep. My dad, he had his laptop with him because he's a DJ. So he DJ'd at my grand aunt's party, and he had his laptop with him. So being that like the next day was the day that we were leaving, he decided that he was gonna leave his laptop in the trunk. And my mom was like, why would you leave your laptop in the trunk? Like, that thing is expensive. You don't know what can happen. Don't leave your laptop in the trunk. Now, my dad is stubborn, so he was like, you know, we're leaving tomorrow morning. What's the big deal? Why do I have to bring it inside the room? But my mother says goes, so of course he brought it in the room with him. That was like the end of the night. We slept and everything because we were leaving tomorrow morning, so everybody wanted to sleep so we can rest up for the ride. So this is the morning that we're leaving now. We have all our stuff packed. We go down to the lobby to check out. My mom is checking out because like she's doing all the business stuff. My dad told me and my sister like to help him carry the bags of the car. So we left the heavy suitcase like in the lobby and took our bags, and we walked out to the parking lot with my dad. We walked like around the parking lot to where my dad knows where he parked the night before. No car. So he continues to walk, no car. We end up coming back to the same spot where we started. And at this point, I'm annoyed because I had the heavy bag in my arm, and I'm like, Daddy, where's the car? And he's like, he doesn't know where the car is. And I'm like, I don't like to play games, so I'm tired. We about to drive all the way back to New York. I want to know where the car is because this bag is heavy. And he's like, he's serious, like he does not know where the car is. And I can see on his face that he's not joking. And I was livid at this point. I'm like, what the hell do you mean there's no car in the parking lot? I don't know how somebody could steal the car out of the parking lot, being that my boyfriend is calling. He messed my story time up. Hello? Nothing. You missed me? That's why you called me? Oh, you missed me?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sound like a kid in a candy store.
Yes, so we went back inside the lobby at this point, and we told my mom the car is gone. And I can see my mom's face. She was mad as hell. She was like, what do you mean my car is gone? And we're like, the car is nowhere to be found in the parking lot. And she's like, what do you mean the car is nowhere to be found? So of course she went out there to go make sure we're not lying to her or playing with her. But honestly, like, I wasn't playing. I was tired. I wanted to go home. So she's like, how can this even happen? And that's what I was confused about too. The parking lot, you have to get a ticket every time you leave the parking lot. And when you come back to the parking lot, you have to enter the ticket. And there's this like thing, you guys know what I'm talking, like the big border thing that opens up every time you put the stuff in. So that's the only way you can get the car in and out of the parking lot. And you have the little like hotel sticker thingy on the top of your car windshield. So I don't know how anyone can even steal the car. So my mom went back inside, pissed at this point. She went to the concierge at the desk and told them my car is missing out of the parking lot. And they're like, what do you mean the car is missing? Are you sure you checked? And we're like, we all checked. Like, there's nothing to lie about. We checked. And we're supposed to be going home right now, and we're stuck in Canada. Like, what are we supposed to do? The concierge was like, okay, we'll call the cops. You can make a stolen car report. At that point, I knew I was not getting that car back. We were not getting that car back. We are not going home anytime soon because they don't follow through with those things. Like, that's it. We were never getting that car back. And my mom was telling my dad, like, lucky thing you listened to me and didn't leave the laptop in the trunk because you would have got that stolen too. The only thing they got away with really was the car, some of my dad's CDs, and probably like a Red Bull in the glove compartment. Like, I'm pretty sure there was really nothing left in the car that was significant for them to really want besides the car. Like 30 minutes later, the cop showed up to the hotel, and they sat with my parents and like spoke to them about like what car they have, what model is it, if we had any pictures. Why do we have pictures of the car? Like, who is taking pictures of the car? We're on a little getaway and this happens. Like, we're not thinking about the car being stolen. Like, who is thinking about that? So she wrote down my mom's license plate number, the type of car it is, and once my mom told her, like, it was a Toyota Camry and we're from New York, so the car had a New York license plate. The lady was like, oh, I don't think you're gonna get that back. No shit, like, we were not getting the car back. She said that that model car was like the most stolen car in Quebec. Like, what is wrong with these Canadians? Like, why? Why? I was so upset. Like, I just wanted to go home. Just wanted to go home. So we called my grandmother while she was at like her sister's house, and we told them everything. And my grandmother's dramatic, so she was like on the phone panicking, saying like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I was not trying to stay in Canada another day. We like took all our stuff and went to my grand aunt's house. When we got there, like, my mom had to call everybody back home and like let them know we were not coming right now and why. They had to call their like insurance company and see if they can get insurance on the car. They had to like get tickets for us to take the Greyhound back to New York that night. It was just a very stressful process. I was hurt that the car was stolen. So that night, my cousins, they drove us to the bus station. We took the Greyhound back to New York. We didn't end up getting home till like the next morning. Like, it was just a long, sad trip. I was so uncomfortable on the bus. I was just ready to get back in that car and sleep the whole ride home. But we had a change of plans because some little Canadians wanted to steal our car. Yeah. And we never ever like heard back from those people. We never got the car back, obviously. But my grand aunt said that like a few days later, they called because we had like a GPS in the car and we had numbers in it, and we were like calling my grand aunt while we were there. They called her house and was like, nice car, eh? Like, what? How dare you? You stole our car and you had the nerve to call my grand aunt and tell us that it's a nice car. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this story time. It's not as crazy as my first story time, but there are much more to come that you guys will love. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in one of my next videos. Bye!